didn't intend to record anything on the topic of resolutions. Yet I had a conversation with a client, and it made me realize that this might be relevant for other people as well. So as we are letting go of the old year and inviting the new year, it's very common that we set ourselves resolutions for the new year ahead. And the reason we do that is because throughout the period that we are off, maybe, we realize that there is an imbalance in a certain area of our life, whether this is around health, whether it is around work, whether it's around relationships, financial stuff, whatever this might be. And so because we're realizing that there is an imbalance, we want to set a resolution to bring back that balance. It's also that through that reflection, we can see a contrast in the way of how we want to feel and how we do feel actually. And this is where resolutions come into play, of course. Now, there's nothing necessarily wrong with resolutions. Most of the resolutions are expectations. Some of them are set very high and probably not helpful in the way of how we can achieve that balance in the long term. We might be motivated in some way or in some area. So let's say we want to set a resolution to eat healthier, to do more exercise, because the reason is that we feel we have put on weight or we don't feel great in our body. So from a mind perspective, we have an expectation, we want to do this. But the question is, why do we want to do this? Is it for ourselves, or is it because of external factors, approval, being more attractive, whatever that might be? So the physical change that we're taking and the mental change that we follow through might not be aligned with our emotions. And so that's where our resolution is almost set up to fail. So it's really about whatever you said in terms of a resolution, it's about how can you align the physical, the emotional, and the mental aspect of it so that it works out. And that can be really difficult to achieve without guidance. This is where we as yoga and meditation teachers come in to provide that guidance. However, there's another way to do that. And that is to look at it, whether the resolution that you set, is it rule-based or is it relationship-based? So, and this is how you can evaluate it probably. So let's say you want to do more exercise to lose weight, you want to eat healthier to lose weight, for whatever reason that might be. And you're starting to set certain rules around it. So a rule could be around eating less of this, eating more of that, going to the gym 3 times a week for an hour each, and so on and so forth. So you have set rules around something that you want to achieve, and you have attached them to yourself. But what is important is that you move from a rule-based approach to a relationship-based approach. What is the relationship that you have with yourself in this process? Do you really want to go to the gym 3 times a week? Do you really want to eat more vegetables and less carbs, less bread, for instance? And what would that mean in the relationship with yourself? So for instance, a lot of people who start out with doing exercise 3 times a week, then it becomes less and less. Either they become burnt out or they become demotivated. Maybe they become tired or even injured or sick. Because there is a conflict, because there is an imbalance between what they actually want and how they want their relationship with themselves to be, and the rule that they have set. And so it is really important to think about that when you set your resolution. I talked about expectations in the past, and I don't think they're necessarily helpful or beneficial to our own growth and development. But whatever we want to achieve, if it is governed by a set of rules that we are not fully aligned with emotionally, mentally, and physically, then it is difficult to work out in the long run. But if we move it to how do I align it with myself and the relationship to myself. So for instance, going back to the exercise, losing weight, adjusting your nutrition, to be more healthy, and again, maybe to lose some weight. What relationship with yourself would you like to have? Do you want to have that mindful relationship where you know you can do exercise and you can eat mindfully so that the relationship to yourself is stronger, more loving, deeper, more nurturing? So it's not so much about the relationship that you have outside with people than it is the relationship that you have to yourself. And if that's rule-based or driven by rules, then there is a conflict and the imbalance cannot be addressed on all levels. So this is what I wanted to share with you. The next question that I was asked was whether you would have to start on an emotional or on the physical first to then align the others. And the answer is actually it's about dialing on all three at different times and readjusting them and rebalancing them again and again and again. So it's a bit like clockwork. They're working together and they affect one another. So just going to the gym maybe and just changing your nutrition, if you're not aligned emotionally with it, if you're not bought into it, and if you don't want to change the relationship to yourself, then that's not going to work, because your mind will resist and fight against it. So it comes back to, what is the relationship that I want to have? Do I enjoy running on a treadmill, or do I enjoy walking in the woods for an hour instead? Do I enjoy lifting weights, or do I enjoy, I don't know, doing yoga at home? What is the relationship that you want to have with yourself in the long term going forwards, so that you can feel really in the way that you want to feel, that you're intended to feel, so that you can peel back those layers and become balanced and in harmony of who you actually are. And that will take time. So any resolution, I think, needs to be based on this relationship that we have with ourselves, rather than driven by rules or expectations from the physical external world, if you want. So I hope this helps you in moving from the old year to the new year, setting maybe your resolutions. And if you would like to work with me, please get in touch. If you would like to join any of my classes online or in person, go to miyoko.love and have a look at the events page. I wish you a wonderful rest of the year and hope that all your resolutions work out for you. Namaste.